Luka Dončić had 24 points in the first quarter. I mean, had 30 at halftime with 6 assists. The brother's looking spectacular and a clear, one of the top candidates for league MVP honors if he continues to look the way that he has looked.
What a start, though, by Luka, man. I mean, he lit the whole arena on fire with those threes. The Clippers, you remember all those years, how they used to dominate us for 4 or 5 years? We'd be sitting here like, they used a team that can play, can match and defend. And I just thought the role players, as you mentioned.
But the way Luka is looking, it just is something special to behold. Make no mistake about it. And the Lakers are doing their thing right now. They could be in the mix. It would not surprise me at all if the Lakers win the conference final.
After going undefeated in the NBA Cup group stage, one question is suddenly taking over the basketball world. Are we witnessing the beginning of the NBA's next dynasty? But this is where things get really interesting. Stephen A. Smith just delivered a bombshell opinion on national television, and his comments are sending shockwaves across the league. The Lakers aren't dominating simply because LeBron James is back in the lineup. It's not some unbelievable chemistry experiment suddenly working perfectly. According to Stephen A., there's one player carrying the entire operation, and that player is Luka Doncic. And if Stephen A. is right, then we're looking at much more than another team capable of making the playoffs. We're potentially looking at a legitimate championship contender. But there's still one massive question hanging over everything. Can Luka Doncic and LeBron James truly coexist long enough to capture a championship? Or are we watching the early stages of a spectacular partnership that could eventually fall apart? Let's take a closer look, because Tuesday night's matchup against the Clippers was about far more than simply adding another win to the regular season record. It felt like a statement. It was a glimpse of what this Lakers squad could ultimately become if every piece falls into place at exactly the right moment.
I think we played a great game. I think they were hitting a lot of shots, especially in the first half. I think our four-quarter defense was great, better than all 3 quarters. To close it out means a lot.
Luka Doncic finished the night against the Clippers with 13 assists and 9 rebounds, coming just 1 board short of a triple-double. But the numbers alone don't capture what actually happened on the court. This wasn't simply a case of Luka piling up statistics. This was complete domination. He walked into a rivalry matchup against a hostile Crypto.com arena crowd and completely dismantled one of the Western Conference's strongest defensive teams. And he didn't waste any time getting started. Luka exploded for 24 points in the opening quarter alone. That's beyond simply being in a rhythm. That's an absolute offensive explosion. It was the kind of start that makes fans pull out their phones in the middle of the game just to double-check the box score and make sure the numbers are actually real. And here's the crazy part. The last Lakers player to score 24 points in a single quarter was Kobe Bryant back in 2007. That's the level of company Luka Doncic is entering. These aren't ordinary performances. We're talking about the kind of numbers that put a player alongside some of the most legendary names in Lakers history.
So Luka starting off, he's the engine, he's had a snake, but him getting his 40 points and then LeBron and Austin still looking like they're...
But it's not just about how many points Luka scores. It's about how completely he controls the game. He dictates the tempo, controls the rhythm, and somehow makes everyone around him better while simultaneously tearing apart the opposing defense. Even Kawhi Leonard, widely regarded as one of the best perimeter defenders of his generation, couldn't slow Luka down. And then there was Chris Dunn, a player who's built his reputation around being an aggressive defensive pest. The frustration eventually boiled over. Late in the fourth quarter, Dunn shoved Luka to the floor and was ejected from the game. That's the kind of psychological pressure Luka Doncic puts on opponents. He doesn't just beat defenders physically. He wears them down mentally first, and then lets the scoreboard finish the job.
Of course, I appreciate it. I told him right away, thanks for having my back. And that says a lot about him. That says a lot about this team. So everybody got each other's back.
And this is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Because the Lakers didn't win simply because Luka Doncic went off. They won because they found a way to get maximum production from all 3 of their stars at the same time. LeBron James finished with 25 points, while Austin Reaves erupted for 31. Together with Luka, the Lakers' Big Three combined for an incredible 99 of the team's 135 points. That's roughly 73% of the Lakers' entire offensive production coming from just 3 players. And somehow, it doesn't look forced. It doesn't feel like three superstars taking turns waiting for their moment. Instead, the offense looks natural, the pieces appear to fit, and the chemistry looks like something that could actually last. Stephen A. Smith isn't playing it safe either. He's fully backing the Lakers as legitimate Western Conference Finals contenders. And when you look at the current Western Conference landscape, it's difficult to completely dismiss that argument. Yes, Oklahoma City looks absolutely dominant right now, sitting at an incredible 17 or 18 wins against just one loss.
Of course, Oklahoma City is still a team to beat. They're the reigning defending champions. They're like 17 or 18 and 1. Denver's right there. They've retooled. They've gotten a bit younger, and they still have Jokic. And Jokic has been the Lakers' kryptonite for years, but that was before Luka Dončić got there. But the way Luka is looking, it just is something special to behold. Make no mistake about it.
That's been the biggest question surrounding the Lakers ever since LeBron returned following his month-and-a-half absence. Could he actually fit into this system? Could LeBron accept being the second option, or even the third option, on certain nights? And with three high-level scorers sharing the floor, would there even be enough opportunities to keep everyone satisfied? So far, the early results have been nothing short of incredible. Not only is the experiment working, it's working at a level that even the most optimistic Lakers fans probably didn't expect.
So this is the first time I've seen him kind of like, okay, what do they need, and still be efficient without using all his energy like he has in the past.
LeBron is finally operating naturally within the offense instead of trying to control every possession. He's choosing his moments, picking his spots, and allowing the game to come to him. He's no longer putting himself through endless 40-minute performances and burning out before the postseason even arrives. For perhaps the first time in his career, LeBron has the freedom to function as a complementary superstar when the situation demands it. And that's a much bigger development than simple load management or trying to keep his body fresh for the playoffs. This is about giving the Lakers strategic flexibility. There will be nights when Luka Doncic is the primary offensive engine. There will be games where Austin Reaves gets hot and pours in 30 points. And when the Lakers desperately need their biggest star, when the pressure reaches its peak, LeBron can still flip that switch and completely take over the game. That's the kind of versatility championship teams need. That's the type of offensive flexibility and star power that can make a team incredibly dangerous once a 7-game playoff series begins.
We just played the right way, took open shots, but just stuck to schemes and got the ball where we wanted to get it, and we made shots.
But there's another player quietly becoming a huge part of this story, Austin Reaves. He finished with 31 points against the Clippers, and here's what makes that performance even more impressive. He scored just 2 points in the opening quarter. He couldn't buy a bucket early, but instead of fading into the background, Reaves responded like a player who's taken his game to another level. He adjusted, attacked the defense, and became more aggressive. Over the final 3 quarters, Reaves exploded for 29 points. That's what growth looks like. That's what you want to see from a player when the pressure starts rising. It's the mentality of someone who's ready for the biggest moments. The Lakers also caught fire from beyond the arc, shooting an impressive 45% from 3 against the Clippers. And that's significant because it was only the 3rd time all season that Los Angeles had shot above 40% from deep. Think about how important that is. Perimeter shooting has been one of this team's biggest weaknesses all season. Yet when they needed it most, the Lakers suddenly started raining threes. Marcus Smart was knocking down open shots. LeBron was confidently pulling up in transition. And Luka Doncic caught fire from deep, connecting on 7 of his 12 three-point attempts after going just 5 for 22 from beyond the arc across his previous 2 games. When this Lakers team is hitting shots like that, they become extremely difficult to stop. But that's also what makes this team so intriguing. The ceiling could be incredibly high. If Luka continues performing at an MVP level, if LeBron stays healthy and fully engaged, if Austin Reaves continues developing into the 3rd star this team needs, and if role players like Marcus Smart and Jackson Hayes keep delivering when the pressure is highest, then this Lakers squad has enough talent to challenge anyone. On any given night, and in any playoff series, Los Angeles has the star power and supporting cast to go toe-to-toe with the best teams in the league. But there's another side to the equation, and it's much more frightening. The floor for this team is also dangerously low. One major injury to Luka or LeBron could completely derail everything. A prolonged shooting slump could quickly turn into a string of losses. The margin for error is incredibly small. The expectations are massive. And with all that talent comes enormous pressure.
I mean, the last few years, man, he was playing anywhere from 35, 38, 40 minutes sometimes. So having another mega superstar like Luka and having Austin Reaves, he's had some Kyrie Irvings, he's had some great players. But this might be the first year in his career where he's been able to sit back and not put in all his tools out of his toolbox. He's got other guys.
But here's where you need to pay attention. The betting markets are starting to take notice. The Lakers are now being talked about as a potential top 4 team in the Western Conference, something that would have sounded ridiculous just a month ago. But that's the impact of winning. That's what dominance can do. And that's what happens when Luka Doncic starts playing basketball at a truly transcendent level. Now, the NBA Cup knockout stage is right around the corner, and the Lakers will have home court advantage for at least one elimination game. They have momentum, they have confidence, and most importantly, they have 3 superstars performing at an extremely high level. But there's one massive question that nobody can answer yet. Can this actually last? Can Luka maintain this unbelievable level of production for another 6 months? Can LeBron's 41-year-old body withstand the physical demands of a championship run? And can the Lakers continue shooting 45% from 3? Or was this simply one spectacular outlier? Talking about a championship right now might be premature. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. But that's exactly what great basketball does. It gives fans something to believe in. It makes you dream about what's possible. And it makes you wonder if, somehow, this could finally be the season when every piece falls into place at exactly the right time.